At the request of one of our subscriber all the way from Kenya, or is it Zambia? I can't really remember precisely. We are shooting today's content because we want to show you how to cook or prepare beans using the pressure cooker. So stay tuned if this is something you would love to see till the end, because there are some few tricks and steps we are going to take to just achieve our goal. And if you're stumbling to my channel for the first time, you might like to or want to smash the subscribe button, also like and share our content so that others will also benefit from the content as well. One of the subscribers also said that he wants to know, or she wants to know, I don't know if it's a he or she, how to start the pressure pot. So I hope he or she finds this content and then see how he or she can start the pressure pot from here. Very important, you have to know the measurement of the beans, because the ratio of water to the beans is really very important. This is a pressure pot that comes with a preset button, so it's going to be very easy for you to cook beans here, but you need to know the ratio of the water to the beans. Do we have a beans preset here? I think we don't have. We have rice, we have soup, we have chicken tendon, ribs, fish, porridge, meat, beef and mutton. Then you can also adjust the setting to whatever time and you want to do so. So this pressure pot, I'm going to off it and on it again so that the person who doesn't know how to start it can do so. So the pressure pot is on right now. First thing first, you need to know how many cups of beans you're going to put in there, so you also know the ratio of water to use. Normally, if you're cooking with your normal gas, if you're cooking 5 cups of beans, that means you need to use 10 cups of water. So you are going to do the same, but you're going to double the amount of water you're going to use for beans. If you're using 5 cups of beans, you have to use 10 cups of water, just enough to cover the beans and allow it to pressure cook. So let us take the measurement for the beans, and let's see how it goes. So you don't have to really measure it to get to the brim, just enough to also know that when you're putting in your water, it will be to the same quantity. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're having 11 of this cup. Please know that any measurement you're using to measure the quantity of item you're cooking also use the same quantity to counter measure the water you're going to put. The ratio of water to whatever you're cooking is really important. So for beans, we are going to see how this is going to go. Now if you level this up, you're going to see that you're having 5.5 cups of beans here. There is a measurement for cup here, so on my pointer, it shows that we have 5 cups of beans, but then, which is actually true, this is 5 cups of beans in Nigeria here, but this shows that it is 11 and a fraction. So we are going to have like 22 cups of water to cook these beans using this measurement. Okay, so let me just explain the functions again. If you want to cook rice, you just press here and then allow this to beep. As it's beeping, you could add, once it starts, it means the rice function is on. You can cancel that command. But if you want to cook something and then you know that whatever you're cooking is less than 12 minutes, so you could go to the fish function, which is the lowest time, which is program number 3. You can adjust the time to 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7, or even lower to 1 minute. And once it stops blinking, it means it has accepted the command to cook at that time. It's going to build pressure and then it's going to cook, after which you're going to release the pressure like we always show you. And that's the whole business of the day. Because you want to pre-cook these beans and wash so that we'll not have problem with digestion and all that. Some people have issues if they don't cook their beans and wash, so we have to cook the beans and wash it before we actually go into the cooking proper. So that's why I'm going to just put in water, cook and wash, and then we will continue with the rest of the video for today. So let us put in the quantity of water we want to cook the beans. While in the process of trying to get our beans cooked, you know, this is Africa, we have dilapidated power supply, electric power supply. They took the light, and it's always very stressful for us to do one thing at a go without getting this kind of situations. So just to continue our video for today, I remember the subscriber was from Zambia. She wanted to know how we can cook beans using the pressure pot. So our beans, we have 5 cups of beans. By the measurement of this, we have 11, so we are going to have 22 cups of this in here, and that's what we are going to do straight ahead. So we're going to measure 22 of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now here is the trick. I have put 11 cups of this in here, but you know that if I want to put 22 cups of this in this pressure pot, it is not going to be possible. So I'm going to do 11 cups of water here first, and then parboil the beans so that we can filter and then wash off. Then we are going to put in another 11 cups of water while the mixture goes in. So that is what we are going to do right now. So I'm going to cover my pressure pot and allow it to cook for, normally the usual time for beans to cook is 40 minutes in the pressure pot. So for the parboiling, we are going to use 20 minutes first, and that means I'm going to use our fish function or whatever thing that is going to take us to the nearest 20 minutes. We know that rice cooks for 12 minutes, so we're going to press the rice function here. So I'm going to press the rice function and then take it up to 20 minutes. So we are going to do our first cooking for 20 minutes. I'm going to allow it to boil for 20 minutes, and then after which we will come and then check how everything is going. In the meantime, I'm going to blend my ingredient that I'm going to use for the beans, which is our chili pepper. We have our chili pepper here. We have crayfish. Crayfish is quite optional, but you have to be very generous with the onions. The beauty or the whole secret about getting a very good and sumptuous beans is onions. So you have to be very generous with that. We have our stock cube, and then I'm going to show you something very funny. Our palm oil. It's inside the Coca-Cola bottle. So we just present our palm oil that way here in Nigeria. So I mean, this is not a kitchen, but I'm trying to showcase how we can do this. So right now, very important, I have to take the vent to the close direction. This is the close direction. After it has pressure boil, we have to bring it back to vent out the pressure, and then everything is going to be cool. So we'll come back in the next 20 minutes or when the pressure cooker has finished pressurizing. So for now, I'm just going to grind my pepper mix. So I'll just throw everything in here. And again, you know that we still have like 11 cups of water left. So everything you're going to do, right from putting in water to blend, you have to count it among the 11 cups of water left. So I am going to put I'll go with the onions first, then I'll go with the pepper and the crayfish, and I'm going to pour in 2 cups of water, or maybe just 1 cup of water will be enough. I'm pouring 1 cup of water to aid the blending. Okay, so let's just do 2. That means we're left with 9 cups of water when we want to cook the beans for the next 20 minutes. So I have done 2 cups of water, and I'm going to take it to the blender to blend. So you're going to see how we are going to do the blending. So we are going to go with the pause button first. Wow, everything is now, you now go with the blending. So that is enough. That will be okay for us to use for our beans. At this point in time, our beans has gotten to the part where it has to obey the command it was given, which is to cook for 20 minutes and then release the pressure. So the pressure has begun to drop, and we're having countdown time. So it's going to get to 11 from 17 to 0, and then the pressure will be released. But we are not going to wait for the pressure to be released because we are going to still cook the beans again. So what I'm going to do right now is to cancel that command. So I press the cancel mode. I'm not going to allow it to wait to release the pressure slowly. I have to cancel it, and then I'm going to manually help it release the pressure. So you can see the pressure release by itself. You can hear the heating. We are going to open the beans and see how far it has gone, where we are going to wash it, and then we are going to put in all the other ingredients and do the second batch of cooking for the next 20 minutes, and then our beans will be ready. So we'll just wait for the pressure to finish releasing. So we are going to open the pot now to see how the whole thing went. Look at our beans. So the beans is almost getting to the threshold. So we're just going to wash this one off first, and and then cook for the next 20 minutes again. That's what we're going to do. But I think basically, if you want to cook beans, if you're using the 6-liter pressure pot, you should reduce the quantity of beans you're cooking to maybe, let's say, 3 cups or 4 cups. That would be better. This was 5 cups, and you can see it's almost getting to the maximum point. The maximum is here. This is where the maximum is. It has not gotten to this, almost there. But just to be on the safe side, you don't have to cook to that point. So we're just going to put in water, wash everything, and then we'll put the ingredients, and then we'll wait for our beans to cook. So off camera, my beans. What we are going to do next is I'm going to just pour in all the ingredients we have to use for this recipe. So I will go in first with my seasoning cube. I have 4 seasoning cubes with me here. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of salt, which I will test if it's okay much later. Remember, we had 2 cups of water in here, so I'll just pour this in. This could really be useful right now. Let's pour in water. The beans is almost soft at this point in time, guys. The beans is almost, it is soft, but then I like my beans to be very soft. So I'm going to put in the remaining quantity of water, which is the remaining 9 cups of water. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7 already. Looks like this pressure pot we have exceeded the maximum now because of the water and the ingredient. So the best thing I think to do right now is to reduce the quantity of these beans. But should I try my luck? Because now I am going against the instruction, which is it should not exceed the maximum. But it is just at the maximum level. That's why I'm not going to put the remaining 2 cups of water. I will just turn it and allow it to cook for the next 20 minutes. So I'll just test for seasoning to make sure that the seasoning is okay. Okay, it is spicy enough. I feel the seasoning is okay. We don't need to add anything again. No, nothing else. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pour in the oil, and then allow it to cook. So I'm going to go in for another 20 minutes. Or maybe we can just do 10. Sorry, I have to cancel because it has already started. So I'll do the fish again. So let's pressure cook for 10. doesn't want to go to 10, so we have to choose another command, which is the rise, and bring it down to 10. So we're going to cook now for 10 minutes. I have inserted the command to cook for 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes time the beans should be done. What else do I need to put in these beans now is the oil. I'm just scared that the pressure pot has exceeded its maximum limit, but let us see if we won't have any repercussion. It's good to learn, yeah? But if you feel there's anything you need to say about this video, drop it in the comment section, and then also tell us where you're watching from. This cooking is being done right here in Nigeria, so you can tell us where you're watching from. Are you watching from Zambia? Are you watching from Cameroon? Whichever country you're watching from, you would like to know. So I'll just pour in the oil and then cover everything up, and then we will be good to go. Let's see you back in 10. So always remember to close the vent, and in 10 minutes time we will be back. But I'm supposed to use 20 minutes to do that, but I feel the beans is already too soft. It's already soft rather, not too soft. So in 10 minutes time, pressure cooking, the beans should be ready. If it's not ready and you feel like you should cook more, then you can just cancel the operation and then cook again. So what I'm going to do, the trick I'm going to use here is that I'm not going to allow it to count down after the pressure, after cooking for 10 minutes. I'm going to cancel the operation and see the level of cooking it has been done, and then I'll decide to either go for another command or not. But if it's okay that way, then we'll see. Remember, we had exceeded the maximum limit for the pressure pot, so I want to see what is going on within the cooking process. So I'm going to open the valve for the pressure to be released. That means I have to cancel the operation and open to check what's going on, because I think the beans had exceeded the maximum level. Let us hear your comments on how you can avoid situation like this if actually is going to be a problem in the comment section. Okay, so let's cancel the operation and then release the pressure, and we don't have any pressure. That means there is a problem. So like I told you, we are going to experience a problem if you exceed the maximum level. There are rules to all these things, okay? So as you can see, the beans could not cook under pressure because there was no space for the pressure to react, and that is why we brought our local pot. Sorry, you're seeing our local pot. This is what we used to cook with firewood and all that, yeah? So we had to bring that to take out some of the beans so that there will be space for the pot to cook under pressure, which is also a good thing, because you now know that if you exceed the maximum level for the pot, you're going to experience something like this. But our food is still under safe zone, so we are going to just take some off, and then we are going to cook at the appropriate level. So we're just taking some of them. Just take some off again, like 2 spoons. So you can see our beans is very soft and very okay. That's fine. So we are going to cover the pressure pot now, and then we are going to cook under pressure for 5 minutes, and then we'll see what is going to happen. So we are going to cook for 5 minutes now. We are going to allow it to cook for 5 minutes. We are setting it under 5 minutes to cook under pressure. So let's see what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, yeah? At this point in time, it's beginning to build pressure, yeah? So you will start seeing the countdown beginning, and then we'll have to release the pressure. The pressure you're seeing right there, it's trying to build its pressure. So it's going to release those steam slowly, and then it will start building its own internal pressure to get the beans all done. Okay, so just hold on for a bit. When you see the time down, start counting down, then you should know that the beans is almost ready. So that's what we're waiting for. So as you can see, that noise has reduced, meaning at this point in time the pressure is building. You're gonna allow it to do so. In the next few minutes you'll see the time counting down, which is what we are waiting for. If you notice, you will see that the timer has changed. We are now having the P sign showing that it's beginning to count down. Okay, so at this point in time the pressure has built and is beginning to release slowly. This P sign now, so it's going to count down to 4, to 3, to the BB sign, and then we are going to open the vent for the pressure to be released, and then we'll see how our beans had performed. So we're going to wait for it to count down to the 0 and then the BB sign. It will make a beep to show that it's ready, and then that will be all for today. But let's just watch out. We want to see the final process, but you can still nonetheless cancel the program right now because the pressure pot has finished what it was asked to do, except this is just slowly releasing some of the pressure, so we can just go ahead to cancel the process, which I think that's what I want to do right now because I'm eager to see what happened. So I'm going to cancel the operation, and then I'm going to release the pressure. So the pressure is releasing. That's a whole lot of noise. Once the pressure is done releasing, we are going to open and check the beans, and then we'll be ready to have our beans. Truth is here, so we are going to open the pot to see what is going to happen. Like I said, when you want to open the pot, always open it against so our beans is now ready. Really very soft. So there are people who like their beans to really dry down, but some people just like it this way because when it cools off, then it's going to try and get itself together. But all in all, this is how our beans look finally. So the beans is ready and we are going to enjoy our meal. So thank you for being with us so far, and if there's any other recipe you'd like to see us prepare, kindly hit us up. We will be there. But of course, you know that if you had cooked these beans for the next 10 minutes, then the water is going to dry down further, but we don't want that. We all have our taste and preferences. We like our own this way. If we want it to dry down much further, then you would use like 10 minutes to cook it. So overall, in summary, what am I trying to say is that beans will take you 40. So in summary, we had used 20 minutes to parboil the beans. We used 10 minutes to put the ingredient and then put it under pressure, but then we had a mistake with that and we've corrected that, and then we cooked again for another 5 minutes. So in total we've used like 35 minutes, but normally beans is supposed to take 40 minutes. So if you don't want to make that same mistake as we did in this one, you should use 40 minutes, 20 minutes to parboil, 20 minutes to cook again, and then you should make sure you don't exceed the maximum level, because if you exceed the maximum level, then you go through this stress we are going through right now. I'm just trying to show you two things now, that you don't have to exceed the maximum level, and then you should use 40 minutes to cook your beans. You also know the ratio of water to beans and everything. It's gonna be fine. Thank you for being with us all through this time. See you whenever we shoot another content. Tell us where you're watching from. Let's share love and light. This is from Nigeria, so drop in the comment section which country you're watching from, and let's see if there's any other recipe you would like us to put up on the channel. We will see you. I love you guys.